Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
And I think it's so important for folks to know that as they're doing their work, that there is this goal to reach as far as emotional freedom.
Yeah.
So it's when we work on our own stuff, heal ourselves, there's a process that takes place within us as far as like moving out this old, wounded, false narrative that no longer serves us into this sort of greater landscape that's available to all of us. So in so many ways, I think it's about getting out of our own way and really bringing in this sort of new view of the world.
Getting out of our way. I love listening to you. For those who don't know it, I used to live very close to where Bob lives, and we kind of traveled around the same mental health community. It's familiar to talk to you about this stuff.
So we've been talking about trauma that happens in childhood, and in my language, I reference it as the age of wounding. And there's that's a particular age where this wounding is or the trauma kind of coalesces. But in reality, there's trauma that's happening before and trauma that's happening after. So it's not just, one event. Sometimes it is one event, but for most of us, it's a cumulative effect over time that we've learned how to, as children, we learned how to adapt ourselves to this very unique dysfunctional environment. And we created these unique codependent tools to emotionally survive that environment. Mm-hmm. And so what happens with most of us is we just carry that into our adult life. And then we use those same tools to basically pick out our partners, to join with. Because what we're doing is we're coming from a wounded perspective, and we're usually finding someone else who's also wounded, emotionally wounded. And that's what I refer to in my second book as that synergistic wounding, because we don't realize what's happening as adults, but we're saying, oh, I can be a codependent, and look, you're a narcissist, and I know how to interact with you. And so we just bring those tools into our adult life and play them out unconsciously. So in my first book, Healing Your Lost Inner Child, I came up with the HEAL process, healing and embracing an authentic life. And that really is this multi-step.
Okay, here we go. The voice of reason back in the building live on KBLA Talk 1580 in the heart of Leimert Park. You already know what it is. Now, This is a very unique relationship show, but it's happening in unique times. I'm sure we all have had our fill of Kendrick Lamar recaps. His performance was incredible. But his performance was an indictment on the broken consciousness of America. Let's just keep it a buck. He called America and its superficiality, its anti-intellectualism, called it all to the carpet. Right? Called its racism to the carpet. Called everything to the floor. And people complained about it. Why? Let me tell you how comfortable an illusory-based dream is. See, nobody likes to be woken up. Come on. You know, if you could squeeze 25 more minutes out of that alarm clock, you will. You'll keep hitting the snooze button. He belittled you, America. He belittled America by bringing in a black Uncle Sam. You know, white folk didn't like that. Say, no, Samuel L. Jackson is Uncle Sam. Brought in a black Uncle Sam, right? To basically say, hey, little black performer, stay in line. This is America's biggest platform, and we like soft. We like pop. We like polished. You know, Katy Perry style. You know, Madonna. You know, Taylor Swift. We like that. And he did the opposite. And you even have black people complaining, oh, it could have been this, it should have been that. Listen, he was insulting your intelligence purposely. And you saw that as his show progressed. And he did the love songs with SZA. And he did the big record with SZA from the Black Panther soundtrack. And that's the record that got the biggest applause. Why? I worked in the music industry for many, many years. And I'm going to tell you, one of the basic rules was KISS, keep it simple, stupid. The most advanced form of music is also the least selling. Uh-oh, what? Yeah, average people don't understand chord progressions. Leroy from Inglewood, you got to call in on this one. Because we are living in the time where psycho-spiritual disruptors are taking center stage. That's what the voice of reason is. I'm a psycho-spiritual disruptor. Right? We're here to turn it all on its ear. And that's what Kendrick did. He didn't give you what you wanted, which was to be pacified. The game was boring, and he was the most interesting aspect of the Super Bowl. The show was filled with symbology, meaning, and art. I'm really going to hit you upside the dome and make you think. They say Americans don't want to think. Americans are about security, predictability. Nah, spiritual evolution is about, listen to what I'm about to say, repurposing pain. I know people are not ready for it. I know people don't want to hear it put that way. But let me get deep. This is what this Voice of Reason show, it's been a Kendrick Lamar halftime show for 3 years now. You dig? That's what this has been. I'm in here to disrupt all of your preconceived Disneyland ideas about relationships. And I've been doing it since the day I sat down. I've been fair and balanced. I bring in the spirit piece. I bring in my clinician friends. I bring in everybody to give perspective. But you know what people really want? They want drama. They want me to talk about weaves. They want me to talk about how baby mamas and they don't know how to cook like Big Mama no more. They want me to talk about high value man, high value woman, low value. And all of that's predicated on a system that never gave a damn about you. Never gave a damn. Do you understand? And today, you even crying. Oh, they took away DEI, even though we was only 4% of DEI. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, it was a DEI performance. Oh, huh? What happened? See, I come in here and I say, listen here. You don't know nothing about relationships. Well, who are you to be talking, Zoe? Well, who is Kendrick to be talking? I saw somebody put a video out today. Should Kendrick be one of our leaders? And it was a black guy. I wanted to say, sit your entire ass down. That's what I wanted to say. Sit down. Why gotta be you talking? That man is clearly a Pulitzer Prize winning artist who has a voice. Why do we always gotta elevate him to Malcolm X or MLK? Why we gotta do that? Why can't we just enjoy the artistry of it all? The man had the most, and you can argue, the most culturally impactful Super Bowl performance ever. I'm going to say Prince was the best Super Bowl performance ever. And I'm a Mike Jackson fan. I'm going to say Mike was number 2. And everybody else falls in there around there. Kendrick, culturally speaking, the most impactful cultural Super Bowl experience ever. Kendrick's music is trying to redefine what hip-hop is and the power it wields. He just did a record called Watch the Party Die, while Puffy is on trial for decades of decadence. Right? He's doing, do you understand? He's saying it's a new time. We're in a new era. Zoe comes in here and says, yes, I know you guys respect Kevin Samuels. And out of respect for Kevin Samuels, even when he was alive, I would say, I see the value in what he's doing. He's speaking to a certain level of consciousness where this stuff makes sense. If you haven't done any internal work, any healing, it's all about manipulation. It's all about power dynamics. So in that context, Samuel Jackson or Kevin Samuels, 100% right. 100% right. Girl, you too ugly to be complaining. Sit down. You're a 4. According to whose metrics? We still got black men who see African features as ugly. We still got black women who see African features as ugly. So if your beauty standard is based on a European model, are you psychologically free? Have you ever seen beauty before? Do you even know what it looked like? Or do you need baby hair? Good hair. You still under the good hair spell? Do you see? Kendrick is trying to recontextualize the ratchetness of our people by giving us something we can chew on, something we can think about, something that wakes us up. That's directly in alignment with the voice of reason. Tonight's topic. You might not think it's related, but I do. The Great Inward Rebellion. A mesmerizing look at the self-civil war we all must wage within ourselves. a self-civil war. We got to go to war with self. To be free, we have to revolt against all inward dependence. And we cannot revolt if we don't understand why we are dependent. The great Krishnamurti. Do you know what it means to revolt against your inner dependence? Do you know? To be truly free, we must rebel not only against outward dependency, but also against the invisible chains of attachment that binds us to the past. Right? Our unconscious hunger for external validation, the echoes of parental modeling that shapes our self-deception, and the unhealed wounds that possess us like unseen specters. Yet, no rebellion is complete without understanding. We cannot break free if we do not first expose how these dependencies feed our deepest fears, scripting our identity and dictating what kind of relationships we're going to be involved in. Without this radical self-awareness, our so-called freedom is merely another illusion of control. Do you understand me? You got to go to war with you. Damn a relationship. Huh? The most important one you've ever had is suffering because you're avoidant. You're self-avoidant. I don't want to do the work. I don't want to look at me. I want to stay uncomfortable with the process of observing me as I am without judgment. I want to stay in this space. I believe somebody is good enough to come along and take my attention off of the work I got to do within. In other words, happily ever after, Prince Charming, Princess Charming, they ain't coming to save nothing. Do you understand? When we come forward, the voice of reason. Leroy, I need to hear from you. 1-800-920-1580. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact blackpantherpartybreakfast@gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast @gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-Week Challenge. The Metamucil 2-Week Challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 Fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
We are discontented through comparison. We are discontented to bring about a change in what is. And we are discontented because we don't know what to do with what is. And being discontented with what is, we develop the idea of what should be, the ideal, the utopia, the gods, the heaven, and so on and on and on. So our action then is based on an idea, and the approximation to that idea is action. Then I am discontented with what is, and I want to be something different from what is, the idea being rational or irrational thought put together as an idea or an ideal, and I have that ideal, and that according to that ideal I live, which is called action. And
the great Krishnamurti once again describing why we're discontent. And of course he's waxing philosophic, but think about it. He just described being in the car with your woman, going to Taco Bell, y'all getting back to the crib, and she found out that the order is wrong, and she wants to go back down to the car to go back to complain about it. We don't know how not to fix something. We don't know how to be in a broken situation and just observe it without condemning it. See, let me tell you something about survival mode. When you're in survival mode, you're always looking for answers. And you're always hypercritical. It's just like somebody who came from an abusive childhood situation. There is a hyper alertness to to danger, right? A hyper awareness to danger. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is the mode we're in when we haven't reconciled this inner general. I said inner general. Who is the inner general within your internal war that's going on? The inner general is your inner child. That's the general of the whole battle. And you can't defeat that general the same way you would on a conventional battlefield. Attachment theory, right? Bowlby and Ainsworth reveals that insecure attachment in early childhood leads to internalized negative self-models. Neuroimaging studies also indicate that early trauma alters limbic system responses, predisposing individuals to self-sabotage in relationships. See, that's the war you should be fighting. Many of us are fighting a war to get our partner to act right, as is defined by the inner tyrant, the inner child, the general of a war you refuse to fight. Right? Do instant gratification and external validation act as psychological opiates for the wounded inner child? Your partner can never get you right if you won't sit down and have diplomatic negotiations with the wounded inner general, i.e. the inner child. Get to your phone lines. This is what Kendrick is doing with his music. He's making you rethink everything. You heard what he said to Drake about the women Drake deal with, and he talked about the self-esteem, and he said, don't speak on Serena. Oh, a black man standing up for black women in his music? Oh, he's sending another message. Well, at the same time, it's 7:35. It's Friday. I ain't got no, got me. When I come forward, the voice of reason is going to keep deconstructing the work that needs to be done.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. A judge is blocking the Trump administration from sending 3 Venezuelan migrants to Guantanamo Bay. The migrants held in New Mexico raised concerns after similar transfers began. Leaked documents say ICE plans a large-scale immigration crackdown in Los Angeles before February ends. While enforcement has increased nationwide, LA has not seen major action yet. Protests continue against Trump's mass deportation strategy. Tiger Woods is withdrawing from the PGA event he hosts in California as he mourns his mother's passing. He said on X he planned to play but is not ready. Woods still hopes to attend the Genesis Invitational later this week and thanked his fans for their support. And Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass's wildfire recovery czar, Steve Soboroff, will now work for free after backlash over his $500,000 salary for 90 days. His pay was originally set to come from charities. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New year, fresh start. Why not with better water? LifeSource Water gives you clean, filtered water from every tap with no salt and no frequent maintenance. Call 800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com today. Warranty limitations apply.
I have a dream today.
From the inventors who transformed our world to the activists who changed our nation, their stories shaped America. This February, KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates Black History Month with powerful conversations, untold stories, and voices that need to be heard. Join us all month long for special programming that honors the past while inspiring our future. Black History Month on KBLA Talk 1580. Our history, our voices, our time.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's a very kicky girl, the kind you don't take home to mother. She will never let your spirits down once you get her off the street. Oh, girl. She likes the boys in the band. She says that I'm her all-time favorite. When I make my move to her room, it's the right time. She's never hard to please. Oh, no. Pretty wild now. Girls are super freak. The kind of girl you read about in magazines. That girl is pretty kinky. Girls are super freak. I really love to taste her. Every time we meet, she's alright. She's Yeah. Hey, 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 hey.
If you grew up with neglect and abuse and you've struggled with CPTSD symptoms, something you may have been told over and over, and it comes off like criticism, is you just need to love yourself. And it's been drilled into us by therapy culture and social media that this, in fact, is your real problem. Now that you know the solution, you could just, I guess, do it. And you're supposed to just go, I don't know, oh, I didn't realize that's what I had failed to do. Okay, oh my God, I love myself. You're right. Thank God somebody told me. And you know, as you could probably tell, this has always really bugged me. Obviously, what those of us with childhood PTSD look like from the outside to non-traumatized people is people who simply don't love themselves. And before we've healed much, it's probably true, but that's the tip of the iceberg on top of all the damage done to our nervous systems, to our ability to connect with other people, to our immune system, to our ability to stay fully conscious when we're under stress. This is what we work on healing so that we can get a baseline sense of safety and confidence in ourselves to even begin to think about positive self-regard. Loving ourselves, it's a good thing, but it's the fruit of deep and complicated and real life healing, not just this like switch you flip and then you're just healed. You just love yourself and it all works out. So I got my heart broken a few times in my life. One time in particular was really bad. And I really liked this guy. He was so great, so fun. And I felt like we understood each other in a really good way. But it was short-lived. He wasn't into it. And I was devastated. And I remember a friend who was trying to comfort me saying, you know, Anna, you need to love yourself before you can love someone else. And I understand what she was trying to say. Like, maybe if your life as a single person was happy and full, then losing someone you hoped was the one wouldn't be murdering your spirit right now. I get it. But I remember how what she said made me feel absolutely broken. Like, you can't love anyone. You can't, unless you become like me, like normal people. You can't love anyone unless you're like someone who you'll never be. That's how I heard it. And again, I get the point, but here's the way I believe love really works. Because there were times when I didn't particularly love myself. And here and there, when I was younger, there were times when I hated myself. But there was never a time when I didn't love other people very deeply. So why do people say this, that you can't love someone until you love yourself? Actually, I think the opposite may be true. You can't really love yourself until you love other people. I don't think it's possible to be closed off to the goodness and beauty of other people and yet still see the goodness and beauty in yourself. They're linked. One comes with the other. And here's why I say that. When my life was miserable and I was isolated and struggling, it was somewhat driven by childhood PTSD and what had happened to me as a kid. But mostly it was because of problems I was having with other people in present time as an adult. And a good part of why I was having problems with people was because I wasn't very good at caring about them, at paying attention to them, feeling empathy for them. Have you ever been in that place?
Man, sister be cooking too, man. Let me just say, there's an inner war that must take place. I don't agree with her when she says you can love other people but not yourself. Remember, relationship operates as a mirror, right? So that means that person coming to you is reflecting you in some kind of way. If you could love them, that means you must love yourself. But now we have to investigate what it is that you're calling love for this person. It could be attachment, right? I always say we've bastardized the term love. What's really happening is some type of attachment, and where there is attachment, there is addiction. Addiction to what? to what you didn't get, to what you crave. What you didn't get in early childhood creates an internal psychological craving, right? You go out seeking it in others. You understand? Listen to the question. If the mind that seeks freedom is the same mind shaped by dependency, attachment, and unhealed wounds, is the very act of seeking liberation just another disguised form of bondage? Absolutely. Because you think you'll find liberation in a person, right? And then you find yourself deepening in your attachment and dependency on them. What if our so-called authentic self is nothing more than a meticulously assembled patchwork of childhood wounds, parenting models, and the unconscious craving for validation, meaning that what we call self-liberation is merely the ego rearranging its own prison bars? Huh? Listen, most people are in relationship for validation, for gratification. That's what most people are in relationship for. Whatever didn't happen in early childhood must happen in your adult relationships, or that person missed out on a great person, on a great thing. Your loss. If external validation is an addiction and our sense of identity is built upon it, then is self-worth, as we understand it, merely the currency of a psychological economy that thrives on scarcity, need, and control? Are we not seeing this in the narcissistic collapse in Drake and Diddy and other celebrities? Come on. One thing a narcissist can't do is take a loss. They can't take an L. They can never see themselves losing. I will take you to court over a time-honored tradition of rap battle if I'm the perceived loser. That's a narcissistic collapse. Are you not seeing it? And he's not the only one. No disrespect, but we're seeing it in a lot of our so-called heroes. Drake's not the only artist. You can't take a L. Narcissistic collapse. We're seeing it, right? This manifests in our everyday relationships. You can't just say, all right, peace out, go on about your business. It's over. We're not together anymore. You can't do it? Oh, so it's speaking to some deep-seated issues, right? Could it be that our deepest fears are not of suffering, abandonment, or rejection, but rather of losing the familiar pain that has defined us for so long that we wouldn't know who we are without that pain? Uh-oh. If love in its purest form requires neither possession nor control, then do most relationships rooted in attachment, validation, and unconscious trauma bonds function more as mutual hostage situations than as true expressions of love? Man, when I come forward, I'm getting on the phone line and talking to the folks. Y'all ready?
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it, and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? HIMS can help. Get started at hims.com/joy. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tether roof off, we gonna tether roof off the mother sucker. Tether roof off the sucker. Tether roof off, we gonna tether roof off the mother sucker. Tether roof off the sucker. Tether roof off, we gonna tether roof off the mother sucker. Tether roof off the sucker. Tether roof off, we gonna tether roof off the mother sucker. Tether roof off the sucker.
Let me just say this. Before we even go to the clip, let me just say, man, if you know anything about Parliament, you know the subliminal messaging. One nation under a groove. If you know anything about Earth, Wind, and Fire, the reason why I'm playing the funk tonight is because Kendrick brought the funk. Do you understand? Using art to bring meaningful and powerful messaging to the largest stage in the world. So I'm playing the funk. Listen, man, before there was a law of attraction, there was Maurice White, right? And Earth, Wind, and Fire. And you heard records like Fantasy, which outlined the law of attraction. Period. Fantasy is the law of attraction. That's the type of music we were doing. I was watching a clip of D'Angelo just musing about Earth, Wind, and Fire. And he was like, yo, I'm a Parliament guy, but I would be just staring at their album covers, talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire, for days because of the symbology and the artistry. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, the young man took the stage to call America to the carpet. The voice of reason is doing the same thing. I'm calling you to the carpet about relationships. Somebody told you that you're going to find the right person. And any situation that doesn't work must not have been the right person. You ain't the right person for your dreams in that moment. No one's ever framed it that way. No one's ever said, yo, you got, your big mama would say things like this. You know, your eyes bigger than your stomach. You know how you fill up that plate? You know you're going to eat all that food, boy. I know you. You're going to waste that food. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Sometimes what you want in a mate is the completed version of yourself that you have yet to begin work on. But you still want it. And the universe is very unique. Oh, the universe gives you what you want, even when you're not ready for it. Do you understand? If your entire sense of self has been shaped by childhood modeling, conditioned responses, and unconscious attachment styles, then when you seek to free yourself, who exactly is the one doing the liberating? And who is the one being overthrown? You don't even know because you're afraid to look in there. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. If true freedom requires an internal revolution against all inherited belief systems and trauma dynamics, then is there a point at which this war against conditioning becomes a war against the very concept of self as you currently know it? You. Some people just want to be happy. I know. I just want to be happy. I just want it to work this time. I want things to be good. I deserve it. I deserve it all. As Kendrick would say, right? I deserve it all. Krishnamurti. Thought creates pain and pleasure. But where thought functions objectively, it becomes extraordinarily effective. Pain, pleasure, and fear are interrelated and are bred by thought. In pleasure, there is always the seed of pain. Can the mind be free from fighting in this entanglement of pleasure and pain? See, you swear you gonna get one without the other. You swear you can connive, manipulate, and maneuver your way into getting what you want at low or no cost. This is not how spirit works. It's gonna get you at some point. And why is it gonna get you? Because it's trying to get you right. And getting right sometimes hurts. Huh? You want to get love right, you gotta hurt. That's what vulnerable means. It means wound. No, you just want glaze and happiness and good times. You don't want to learn how to speak your feelings. You know how many people will shut their damn feelings down so as not to ruffle the feathers of their partner because they like the way things are? They don't know how to have a meaningful disagreement where the truth is told and no offense is taken. Come on. They have never had that self-civil war, right? where they can listen to the critique of their partner without internalizing it. Oh, who am I talking to tonight? All right, I got callers on the line. Leroy from Inglewood, I called him in and he answered. I called him 3 times. This must be Candyman. Come on, Leroy. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, bro?
Well, I pray God you hold me over.
Of course.
I just must say, amen, 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 and Ashe.
Ashe.
I'm just going to start right there, and you can hold me over, I pray. But so far, brother, amen, 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 and Ashe. You have literally helped us to come forward by night into day.
That's what we want. That's what we want, brother. Your thoughts on Kendrick's performance?
Well, that's why I said hold me over, but I thought that it was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm amazed he got away with it.
Ooh.
I don't know how long it will last, because when Malcolm X got on TV, it wasn't long before the drama started, right? Sometimes too much truth in a space where people are not used to hearing the truth in their face will cause them to run away to the pain and the hurt that they're familiar with, rather than run out of the cave into the light, where it says, the light hurts my eyes, right? I'd rather deal with the shadows than deal with that bright light.
Wait, I thought we was talking about Kendrick and not me. Hold tight. When we come forward, we going back to Inglewood to talk to my brother Leroy. He got a lot to talk about, and we gonna let him.